Peace. So I'm inviting you to move with me, to breathe with me, to honor with me. It's 6:45 a.m. The sun is rising in Denver, Colorado. That we're moving with the trees, the roots, the birds, the sky, the soil, the snow, the water, the sun. And as we move, we honor and center the native indigenous peoples in the U.S. on this complex day of Thanksgiving, of Truthsgiving, of Unthanksgiving, Indigenous Heritage Day, Indigenous Sunrise Ceremony Day. The expressions of gratitude that each of us hold and move into, the gatherings that we find ways to honor not only Native and Indigenous beloveds, but we honor our deepest expressions of human thriving, human love, human capacity, that this moves us all into deeper awareness of a history of genocide, a history of disease, of massacre, of distrust. And so as we gather, as we hold gratitude, as we hold one another in cherished, precious belonging, that we also hold and honor the devastating history so just breathe all the way in and all the way out, honoring your body, your deepest truths, imperfectly, with humility, with movement, with openness. So as we move, I'm going to offer two readings that just I lean into, that I hold space for every year on this day. One is Thanksgiving, A Native American View by Jacqueline Keeler. Jacqueline is a member of the Dene Nation and the Yankton Dakota Sioux. She works with the American Indian Child Resource Center in Oakland, California. Unlike some of her Native peers, Keeler celebrates Thanksgiving, and unlike most non-Native Americans, she does so through a distinctly Indigenous lens. Thanksgiving, A Native American View. This may surprise those people who wonder what Native Americans think of this official U.S. celebration of the survival of early arrivals in a European invasion that culminated in the death of 10 to 30 million Native people. I celebrate the holiday of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving to me has never been about pilgrims. When I was 6, my mother, a woman of the Dene Nation, told my sister and me not to sing Land of the Pilgrim's Pride in America the Beautiful. Our people, she said, had been here much longer and taken much better care of the land. We were to sing Land of the Indian's Pride instead. I was proud to sing the new lyrics in school, but I sang softly. It was enough for me to know the difference. At 6, I felt I had learned something very important. As a child of a Native American family, you are a part of a very select group of survivors. and I learned that my family possessed some inside knowledge of what really happened when those poor, tired masses came to our homes. When the Pilgrims came to Plymouth Rock, they were poor and hungry. Half of them died within a few months from disease and hunger. When Squanto, a Wampanoag man, found them, they were in a pitiful state. He spoke English, having traveled to Europe, and took pity on them. Their English crops had failed. The native people fed them through the winter and taught them how to grow their food. These were not merely friendly Indians. They had already experienced European slave traders raiding their villages for 100 years or so, and they were weary. But it was their way to give freely to those who had nothing. Among many of our peoples, showing that you can give without holding back is the way to earn respect. Among the Dakota, my father's people, they say, when asked to give, "Are we not Dakota and alive?" It was believed that by giving there would be enough for all, the exact opposite of the system we live in now, which is based on selling, not giving. To the Pilgrims and most English and European peoples, the Wampanoags were heathens and of the devil. They saw Squanto not as an equal, but as an instrument of their God to help his chosen people, themselves. Since that initial sharing, Native American food has spread around the world. Nearly 70% of all crops grown today were originally cultivated by Native American peoples. I sometimes wonder what they ate in Europe before they met us: spaghetti without tomatoes, meat and potatoes without potatoes. And at the first Thanksgiving, quote unquote, the Wampanoags provided most of the food and signed a treaty granting Pilgrims the right to the land at Plymouth, the real reason for the first Thanksgiving. What did the Europeans give in return? Within 20 years, European disease and treachery had decimated the Wampanoags. Most diseases then came from animals that Europeans had domesticated. Cowpox from cows led to smallpox, one of the great killers of our people, spread through gifts of blankets used by infected Europeans. Some estimate that disease accounted for a death toll reaching 90% in some Native American communities. By 1623, Mather the Elder, a Pilgrim leader, was giving thanks to his God for destroying the heathen savages to make way, quote, for a better growth, unquote, meaning his people. In stories told by the Dakota people, an evil person always keeps his or her heart in a secret place, separate from the body. The hero must find that secret place and destroy the heart in order to stop the evil. I see in the, quote, first Thanksgiving, unquote, story, a hidden Pilgrim heart. The story of that heart is the real tale that needs to be told. What did it hold? Bigotry, hatred, greed, self-righteousness. We have seen the evil that it caused in the 350 years since. Genocide, environmental devastation, poverty, world wars, racism. Where is the hero who will destroy that heart of evil? I believe it must be each of us. Indeed, when I give thanks this Thursday and I cook my native food, I will be thinking of this hidden heart and how my ancestors survived the evil it caused. Because if we can survive with our ability to share and to give intact, then the evil and the goodwill that met that Thanksgiving day in the land of the Wampanoag will have come full circle, and the healing can begin. So just honor your breathing, honor what was shared and opened and held in Jacqueline Keeler's words in her essay. And just as we move into our days, into our being, I'm just going to offer this Thanksgiving ritual written by Gabriel Horn in his book, The Book of Ceremonies. Thank you to the oceans and bays, to the currents and streams. to the quiet pools and lakes, to the fish big and small, who have given of themselves that others may live, to the whales, our cetacean relatives, for their wisdom and the lessons of family they have taught us, for the gift of life they have given us, and to their cousins and our relatives, the dolphins, for the joy that they have brought us and the sense of purpose they have shown us, to the corn mother and the yellow maize, to the fruits and the berries, to the medicinal plants and trees, to the forests, and the standing nations, for the shelter they provide and the air we breathe, to the animals great and small who have served for food and given unselfishly of themselves, that we may live, and who have shared with us their power and their wisdom, to the birds, great and small, whose feathers adorn us and serve as intercessors of our prayers, lifting our words to the heavens, to the eagle whose bold flight inspires, to the tiny insects who help keep the balance, to our Father, the sky, who protects us, and our Mother Earth, to our elder relative, the mighty sun, who sustains us with light and warmth, to the sacred moon, who influences the movement of the waters and the cycles of women and men in harvest, to the great winds that sweep away the illusions of our world and of our self-importance, and to the gentle breezes that caress our senses, to the thunder beings, to our relatives and messengers who dwell among the stars, and to the great holy mystery who exists within all things and is the life in all things, whose abundance provides all that is useful, and who is forever the source and ruler of health and life. Thank you. Peace to each of you.